Assalamualaikum, I'm Aina.
Hello, I am AUNI BAZILAH binti HAMID.
Hi, I'm AZREEN.
Hello, my name is NURFATIHah.
Hello, my name is IRDINA.
Hi everyone, based on my reflection, we focused on identifying samples through sight, followed by sniff various samples to analyze their aromas. This taught us how crucial our sense of smell is in identifying food characteristics. We took it a step further by tasting samples blindfolded, first with a plugged nose, then without the nose plug. It was fascinating to notice how taste perception changes when smell is obstructed. We found that plugging that nose made it harder to identify some tasters.
Through the sensory test as a panelist, I gained valuable insight into the complexity of taste perception. It was fascinating to experience how our sense can be easily deceived, especially when relying slowly on taste. Using the blindfold in the sensory highlight the significant role smell in taste perceptions. While I could distinguish the basic tastes like sweet, salty, sour and bitter in the odorless substance. At first, it was challenging to identify the specific flavor accurately, but after the second try, I can make the differences of that taste. So this emphasizes the importance of both taste and smell in our overall sensory experience. In the experiment, also highlight the subjective aspect of taste perception. So what I can simplify is the flavor perception can be influenced by individual taste and also the experience.
During the testing sample, I was surprised by how my expectation affected my ability to identify the flavor. I thought I could easily recognize them, but some, especially the sweet one and the ones with only orange juice, were more challenging. In the blindfold practical, I focused on aromas and flavors in way I never had before. When I did the sniffing practical, I had to trust my sense of smell to guide me, so I realized how much harder it was to identify smells without seeing them. So this experience highlight how important all our sense in testing.
I will make a reflection based on practical sense. So I start on lab 2A, which is I can test more or less the same for each different sample between water and orange juice. Next, for lab 2B, I was able to identify the order for each sample where there was a sample that I was confused about that because of the factor of not being able to detect the sample. Finally, for lab 2C, I could not to detect the sample because I had to cover my nose and eyes, and then I was able to detect the sample after plugging my nose.
In lab week 2, practical 2A showed that detecting taste was easy with plain water. However, it is harder with orange juice since it masks the flavor. In 2B, smelling samples was simple, but however in 2C, the detection was difficult with plugged nose and blindfolded. Hence, from this lab, it showed that the smell and sight are key for identifying samples easily.
I want to share my experiences during the sensory evaluation test. Mind you, this is my first time to actually participate in this kind of test, and so far, it has been interesting to learn that somehow this smell and taste could differ even though it was actually using the same sample. Also, there was a sample that I personally didn't like, for example, durian. But I learned that it was a good opportunity to not give a biased result. Overall, I think it was a good experience to see how our senses of taste and smell could work together. That's all from me.